Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Dawnhaven timeline, I guess, lore kind of thing. This is part two. This is a timeline from the okay, hold on. Okay, the first timeline was a timeline of, it was a general timeline where everyone was in. This one is only elf specific, so basically it's only from the viewpoint of the elves. And there's actually four timelines: the general one, which includes all three races and everything that's going around the world; the elven one, which includes all the elven history and how the elves saw stuff from their point of view; the human one, which is basically the same thing but from the human point of view; and the Alakian point of view. So those are the three timelines. So right now what I'm working on is the elven timeline. So the elven timeline, I decided to start it off in AC, which is Age of Creation. So it starts out when the elves were created. So timeline, and also later on in the future, the elven timeline, the elven way of like dating stuff, like the 1E100 becomes a standard calendar of how everyone keeps track of stuff. It becomes the standard worldwide. Okay, so 761, let me actually just pause this video real quick and open up the other timeline. Okay, and as you can see from the elven timeline, it starts at 761 AC. The AC stands for Age of Creation. Two race of elves are created, so that's exactly 761 AC. So this is where the elven timeline starts. Of course, all these other stuff happened already, but the elves weren't specifically involved with them. Actually, they weren't even around then, so that's why it starts at 761 AC, and then it moves on onwards. So on the four timelines, of course, they're all gonna have specific dates that intercepts, like for example, when the elves conquered the humans, it's gonna show up on both of their timelines, and then but it won't show up in the timeline of when the elves conquered the Alakians, and it also won't show the rebellions of the humans in the Alakian timeline. So that's basically how that is gonna work out, I guess. Okay, so let's get into the timeline without any further delay. Let's see how much minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. Okay, that's not that bad. Okay, 761 AC. Two races of elves are created. The Zesker and the Asker. I have to look at the spelling. I forgot how I spelled it. Oops. So 761 to 2799 AC. Elves grow in population. Not much else is known about the elves at this point. 2800 AC. The first murder occurs. An Alakian by the name of Histakis kills an elf over a piece of apple. No one knows what happened. No one knows that it was a crime, or no one that really knew what it was, because it was a first murder and they didn't really know what it was. Not even the person that killed them. He just thought he was sleeping or something like that. So of course, 2800 AC is also here because it's a general thing right here. 2800, the first murder occurs. Okay. So next is 2801 to 3300 AC. Nothing is known about the elves during this time. So most of these times before the first era is basically there's no recorded history and no one really knows what happens, and these people are basically just kind of guessing. But this one is a known fact because one of the gods actually told someone, but I'm gonna explain how that happens later. So like this 2800 AC is a known fact that it happened in that year. So most of these are known because the gods told someone who wrote it down or some other stuff like that, or revealed it to them. So okay, nothing is known. 3301 to 3303, the shift begins. So this is when this is after the other divines decided that they wanted to release evil into the world. So the main three gods, which created the three races, decided to shift the world and basically disconnect all the three races from each other, which will like basically slow the spreading of the evil and the darkness all over the world. So, of course, it's also in the general timeline. If we 3301, if we scroll down, 3301, 3301. So the shift begins. 3301. 3302 AC, elves discover the ability to use magic. So this is after the sun was created. So again, the sun basically allowed the races to basically made their souls like enriched with magic, and then they were able to like use the power of the sun to do magic. I actually forgot the exact details of it. So heroes abundance. Okay. This share Arceus. So Arceus, which is the name of the sun, allowed the mortal races to use magic energy. So basically the sun gave them the ability to use magic, and then the magic that they were using basically instead of them giving that energy to the gods, which is the reason why the gods created them. So like when they would pray to them, that energy that they when they pray to them, the energy goes directly to the gods. But then since they were using magic, the magic wasn't really going to the gods, it was just going into the world and being manifested as magic. So the gods grew weaker since they weren't getting the replenishment they needed. So it basically took like 600 years. The elves mastered the art of magic. So 3302 AC to 4001 AC. Elves mastered the art of magic. And then the first era started. Elves, with the help of magic, built the first known civilization and start to record their history. So from first era on, most of the history are going to be recorded, and we're gonna know more. We're gonna know more about what happened in those times in details, because it was from people that were actually living in that time, and official records and whatnot. So basically, the elves started the first era once they created their first civilization. So 1E, the 1E stands for first era, and then the 1 is the date. So 1E 100 is the 100th year of the first era, I guess. The 100th year of the first era, Celestion, the first elven city, is completed. Meaning center in the language of the elves. The name is also work in progress. Because the name of it is a work in progress. I haven't actually decided if I'm keeping it, but right now it looks like I'm keeping it. 105 1E 105, the Arcanium is completed. A magic made of 100% magic, and the symbol of the elven homeland. So the tower is like made out of 100% magic, like every single aspect. And when I say it made out of magic, like it's like physical magic, like they somehow made it out of magic, and you could walk around and do what anything else you could do in a regular building, but it's made out of magic. How did they do it? I don't know. 105 to 1100 1E, elves explore and expand their territories throughout Irene's land of the first. That's what Irene's says in the language of the elves. 108 1E or 1E 108, whichever way you want to say it. It's just easier for me to say it like that because it's the 108th year of the first era, so it's easier for me to say it like that. Even laws are made by the Council of 300, which is actually 317 main elves who started the civilization. Yeah. 1E 110. Evan Law dictates that the strongest magic user will become the ruler of all elves. Oh, there goes a problem. The same year, outraged by the news, the darker skinned elves protested because their magic were not as strong as those of the lighter complexion. For their soul were not okay. So when Erons, when Erons created the elves, he actually created a version of the elves when he would like on his first try he didn't get it right, which created the darker skinned elves. He didn't get it right, so he tried again, which gave birth to the elves that are going to be dominant in the world right now. So those are the main elves that we know that you play as, because the darker skinned elves are basically extinct except for a few surviving. Actually, that's just kind of a spoiler thing because you're not really supposed to know about them, but yeah, some they're supposed to be extinct, but some of them survived. So yeah. 1110, 111, 1E. To find a new leader, the elves went through. Wait, hold on. Okay, it's not blah blah blah. Okay. To find a new leader, the elves went through a selection process called the Karna Wizard Battle. It basically says Karna Koana, or you could say how I was saying before. Karna is basically the elven word for wizard battle. Elves from all over the land come to demonstrate their magic. After 4 years, a new leader was finally selected. Higer Jogai was the first elven king. Higer Jogai. After Higer comes to power, the darker skinned elves, now called the Zesker, meaning the dark ones in the language of the elves, are angered by the results as the selection process is still not fair to them. Hundreds of years have passed, and I'm forgetting to read the date to you. So 4 years later, after 4 years, basically that's. And then the next year, Higer Joger comes to power. Blah 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 blah. Okay, hundreds of years. So basically, like 380 something. I don't know, but it's the year 501E. Hundreds of years have passed, and still not a single Zesker has had a chance to sit on the Arcanian throne. I spelled that wrong. It's supposed to be an I at the end. Whatever, I'll change it later. So again, the Arcanian throne is like the Iron Throne in the Game of Thrones. It's a throne made out of 100% magic instead of being made out of like swords and stuff. Same year, elves discover navigation and everything else that goes with it. Well, it wasn't like they just discovered it in that year. Like they've been working through it. It's just like they finally got it right. So navigation, sailing, mapping. They can map stuff. They can explore and whatnot. So which helped them further the exploration of their continent. 975 1E. The Zesker Arkune Dimtri start a rebellion against the Esker, the light-skinned one, the light ones in the language of the elves, Esker and Zesker. Same year to 1101E. All of Irenes has been explored and many elven cities has been built. The cities are Celestion, which again is like center in the language of the elves, which was founded in 101E. Arcus, which is founded in it was founded basically 14 years later. Arcus founded 114 1E. Drell was founded in 279 1E, and Redrion, which is also called the Blood City, was founded in 299 1E, and Zex was founded in 769 1E. Okay, 1107 1E. While protesting in front of the Arcanium, Arcune Dimtree was killed by a guard. Same year, after the death of the rebel leader, Zesker, after years of protesting, decided to take the throne by force. 11 1111 8 1E 11111 The Battle of Arcanium. The two elves race fight for control of the tower. 1111 1E to 5012 1E. The elven homeland is devastated by war, and the last known Zesker has been dead for 2 years. Okay. Almost to the second era. So 5010 1E to 5539 1E, which is also known, this period of time to the elves is also known as the Age of Rebuilding, because that's basically when they rebuilt their whole civilization and whatnot. The last remaining Esker rebuild what's left of their home. AR, Age of Rebuilding, we have said this. And 1E 5539, which is same year that the Age of Rebuilding, and Elven Homeland rebuilds on the dawn of the new era. So the new era is coming soon. Not really, it's gonna come like 5,000 years later. But yeah, basically. So elves enjoy a time of peace and enlightenment. So 2E 2E. So the first year of the second era. So 1E, which is the first era, ends on 10,000. So Age of Elf Conquest. So this the second era is also known to the elves as the Age of Elf Conquest, or the Age of Elven Conquest. Actually, I forgot the N. So this is basically, in this era, they basically conquered the whole world. AEC. So when the elves refer to this time, they would say AEC, which is Age of Elven Conquest. So it will be 100. Okay, it will be 100 AEC instead of 2E. So to everyone else, they call it 2E because it's the second era. Again, this calendar is basically standard all over the world, but people wouldn't say this is the Age of the Elven Conquest. They just call it the second era because that's what it was. So 1E 97. Okay, 1E. Okay, 97,000. 9700 1E. So it's 9700 1E. So 9700 first era. Elves explored the rest of the world, not the land just around it, and made contact with humans and Alakians after thousands of years of isolations. Okay, now we come to the first major, actually the second major Elven King. There's also, of course, there's been like at least 100 Elven Kings since the Elven civilization started, at least 100, but only one has been mentioned. The other ones will be mentioned later, of course, but they're gonna be like in books and stuff like that because they're not really that important. So this is the first major. To me he's the first major Elven king, but in reality he's actually the second, because the first major one was Higer Jogai, which was the first king of the elves. So Gaikel or Gaikel, yeah, Gaikel GikeL. It's get. I mean, okay, it's GIKE space L. That's how you say it. GikeL. Okay, first era. So he basically started the first era. Like he's basically started the second era when he came to power. So after coming into power in 1E10K, which is 10,000, the 10,000th year of the first era, he starts a new era and states that a new era shall start every 10,000 years. So third era starts at basically 10,000 years later after the second era starts. Gaikel the first proclaims his ambition to share elven peace with the world. Gaikel the first sends messengers to the two races asking for tribute, asking their kings to step down and let him be the one true ruler of the world. After 15 years, Gaikel grows angry from refusal. He orders, this is 15 years later, so 15-2E, he orders his messengers to tell them to surrender or be conquered. Also, he knew that he was going to die soon, and he wanted his dream to come through before he dies, because he was ill and was dying. Elves usually live, like, the oldest elf right now is still like alive since like he was created. There's like 3 of them that are that old, and they make up a council. Yeah, so that's basically an elf that's like over 20,000. I don't know, at least 15,000 years old. So that's a long time to be living. So elves' lifespan are basically huge compared to the other races. Humans have the middle, and the Alakians have a short lifespan. So basically, elves they're basically immortal, and then humans live up. Right now, they live for the oldest human is 129. And the oldest Alakian can get will be 70. Will be 70. I just made those numbers up right now, but yeah. So same year, Elven Messenger upon delivering the message 2, and that's where I stopped. I did this second era. Actually, I did. I finished the first era and then started the second era all today. So anyways, thank you guys again for watching. 22 minutes of Elven history and how things happened. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Peace.